of artistic expression, there exists a powerful force that propels culture forward, defying conventions and sparking both fascination and controversy. This force, born in the depths of subversion, weaves its way into our collective consciousness, leaving an indelible mark on our society. It is a world where identity transcends traditional notions of gender, and authenticity reigns supreme. Drag. Drag artists are woven into the fabric of media, movies, TV shows, fashion, film, and more. Our influence is far-reaching, extending beyond mere entertainment to become a catalyst for change. My first memorable experience from drag actually comes from Ursula, the iconic villainess from Disney's The Little Mermaid, inspired by the legendary drag performer Divine. Knowing that Ursula is inspired by a drag queen is no surprise, but because The Little Mermaid was my favorite film growing up, my mom invited her friend Ron to come perform in the living room dressed as Ursula. So imagine, 6-year-old me with a giant sea witch in my living room, with tentacles that stretch from wall to wall, perfectly singing and hitting every note better than any cartoon could be. And there isn't even an open body of water within a half days of my house. It wasn't until later in life that I realized that the larger-than-life octopus woman in my living room was not the real Ursula, but a drag queen. Drag has been a transformative and influential art form, shaping cultures across the globe. From ancient Egypt to Elizabethan England, from 17th century Japan to the vibrant history of the United States, drag has had an undeniable impact. The charismatic Cleopatra of ancient Egypt recognized the power of drag. She would dress herself as a man, understanding the impact it would have on those around her. There are 3 carved objects that depict Cleopatra as a male pharaoh, and it is believed that she used these symbols to assert her dominance as a female leader and gain respect for the throne. This early instance of drag demonstrates the lengths that people would go to shape their destiny, not only to change how they express themselves, but to change the perception of how others see them. In Elizabethan England, it was a common occurrence for male actors to play female roles because of societal restrictions and laws that prohibited women from performing on stage. These male actors, known as boy players, would often play female roles, including leading roles such as Juliet in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. This tradition traces all the way back to ancient Greece, while continuing through the Middle Ages and into the Renaissance period. Their performances allowed for their audiences to question and celebrate gender expression, societal commentary, and comedic situations. Their performances included intricate costumes, including elaborate gowns, wigs, and makeup, mimicking how today's drag entertainers play with gender performance. We see the history of drag in the Far East as well. Kabuki is a traditional form of Japanese theater that has a lot of elements of today's drag performance. To this day, all the characters are portrayed by men called the onagata. Onagata are male actors that are highly revered within Japanese culture for their ability to elicit authentic emotional responses and admiration from their audience. They're dedicated to the art of feminization with particular study of gestures, motions, voice and vocal inflections, as well as facial expressions. Now on to the American examples. Drag queens in vaudeville challenge societal norms and push the boundaries of gender expression from the late 1890s to the early 1930s. Their performances allowed their audiences to question traditional notions of masculinity and femininity. Through their exaggerated femininity, drag queens in vaudeville brought a sense of joy and liberation to audiences across the country. While vaudeville eventually faded out due to radio and movies, the impact of drag in vaudeville left a lasting legacy, paving the way for the continued acceptance and visibility for decades to come. Drag also played a significant role in the gay liberation movement of the late 1960s. Drag artists were often at the forefront of these protests, demonstrations, and acts of resistance, helping create spaces for queer visibility, equality, and acceptance. One pivotal moment was the Stonewall Uprising of 1969, where drag queens, trans individuals, and other members of the queer community fought back against police harassment and sparked a turning point in the gay rights movement. Key players such as Marsha P. Johnson and Sylvia Rivera stood fearlessly on the front lines, resisting police brutality and inspiring others to join the movement in the fight for liberation, helping galvanize the gay rights movement. Following the Stonewall Uprising, drag artists continued to be pivotal in creating spaces and organizing and advocating for LGBTQ rights. Back then, they created the Gay Liberation Front, which aimed to address specific issues faced by the community, such as social stigma, discrimination, and the fight for equal rights. Today, our vibrant city of Chicago is a testament to the ever-evolving nature of drag's impact. The Chicago Black Drag Council, born in response to the Black Lives Matter movement and the long-standing injustices faced by marginalized communities in Chicago, stood as a beacon of hope and empowerment. As treasurer of this organization, I was able to witness the capabilities of drag to bring people together, affect change, and actually put money in the hands of marginalized individuals. But the impact of drag goes far beyond community activism. In recent years, we've witnessed the rise of drag artists to become actual celebrities, while continuing to be references for pop culture, fashion, music, and more. We are experts at our crafts. We do it all. We look at these luxury brands infusing these high-end garments with our knowledge of high fashion, cosplay, and wearable art. Through immense creativity and skill, we are able to create these larger-than-life personas that transport us to other dimensions. The drag world combines artists from many disciplines, including gymnastics, theater, dance, and public speaking, and marries them with even more creative outlets, such as fashion design, prop and set design, and event production. It is a testament to the breadth of our abilities that we can see our impact in every thread of our culture. Drag is and has always been a safe haven, a sanctuary for the queer community. To me, when I see a drag queen in the space, I know that I am okay. To the average queer person, you can walk into the space and see this person doing this and wearing this and being over the top in what they're doing, and you know that you are safe as well. Drag has the capability to also create familiar relationships with other queer people that you would not have otherwise. Drag is more than just a form of expression, a hobby, or a career. It has the power to transform countless lives. It is a place where the fantastical and the everyday coexist. In this enchanting realm, drag artists defy societal expectations and limitations, reminding us that the only limits that truly exist are the ones that we place upon ourselves. I've lived many lives, from a fitness professional to a shark researcher, and there is nothing that envelops my creativity like the world of drag. Let us create spaces where people feel seen, heard, and celebrated for who they are despite any label that seeks to define. I am thankful to be a part of the Chicago drag community and to have a community that spans from coast to coast. Thank you for embracing the magic of drag and being a place where queer people can allow our dreams to become realities and our identities are celebrated. We are creating a culture through drag that cannot be ignored and will continue to be celebrated.